While putting this video together, YouTuber Sid Alpha basically made a much better video on this whole topic. I highly recommend going to his YouTube channel and watching that video, link in the description down below. Hey! Hi! How you doing? This is the Gamertron, and welcome back to the Gamertron Show, and oh boy, do I have a video for all of you. Be sure to check back again later to check out the like-dislike ratio in the comment section down below. It's gonna be a party. So, Mass Effect Andromeda. The game hasn't even come out yet, and yet both the hate and the hype trains have violently collided with one another already. I've seen some hype trains for some AAA video games. I've seen some hate trains for some AAA video games. But so far, in my experience, in my opinion, Mass Effect Andromeda and the whole debacle, the multiple debacles surrounding it, take the cake. Now, I'm going to try and be as fair and as diplomatic in this video as I possibly can, but there is such a plethora of stupid concerning people's reactions to Mass Effect Andromeda that I'm going to be calling people out and I'm going to be saying some not so nice things. So let's get started, shall we? First off, I completely understand there are some people that are disappointed with Mass Effect Andromeda, not going to be buying the game for some very reasonable, very rational reasons. Now, I'm not here to tell you what to like, what to dislike. I'm not here to tell you what to buy, what not to buy. That's incredibly wrong, pretentious, and egomaniacal. I'm not here to tell you what to think or what to do. I'm just here to share my thoughts, feelings, and opinions. The entirety of my YouTube channel is just me sharing my thoughts, feelings, and opinions, and this video is no different. I love Mass Effect. Mass Effect 2 and 3 are some of my favorite video games of all time. And my anticipation and excitement for Mass Effect Andromeda has been up and down. When it was first announced, I was super excited. As the months went on, my excitement dissolved, replaced with worry, and now recently, with all the new footage for Mass Effect Andromeda coming out, excitement has risen in me once again. I don't expect everybody to buy or like Mass Effect Andromeda. We're all adults here with our own personal preferences, and we choose how to spend our money how we wish. So I am in complete support of those who do not want to purchase Mass Effect Andromeda for completely valid, rational reasons, such as the game just simply not appealing to them, they don't like what they see, not their type of game, or perhaps they played the original Mass Effect trilogy and that is Mass Effect to them, and they have no interest in a sequel, reboot, spin-off with Andromeda. Or perhaps you just want to wait for a sale. $60 is a lot of money after all, and there's a lot of AAA games that have already come out, and more of it are going to be coming out soon. That right there is the calm logic and reason of a mature adult, firmly set in reality. Now let us proceed with the batshit insanity that is the hate train for Mass Effect Andromeda and the ludicrous reasons why people not only don't want to buy the game, not only hate the game, but want to boycott the game and stop other people from buying and playing it. We've reached that level. We've reached that level of outrageous stupidity. Alrighty, here we go. Reason number one, and this first reason is actually somewhat reasonable. It was at first, but then it quickly devolved into stupid, which is fitting because speaking of stupid, Manveer Air, the racist developer who worked at BioWare making Mass Effect Andromeda. Let's get this right out of the way. The guy is scum. He is absolute scum. A hateful racist. A true bigot. Disdain for this individual is completely understandable. Guy's a nut job. And there are quite a few individuals, even prominent YouTubers, who stated firmly that they will not purchase or support Mass Effect Andromeda because this openly racist video game developer is working on the game and working at BioWare. Or at least, he was. More on that later. First off, I think to a point it is completely understandable that you don't want to give someone who hates others because of their skin color your money. I can completely understand that. It's your money and you don't want to buy a product from someone with political or ideological views that you disagree with, you dislike, or whom theirs disagree and dislikes you. I get that, I understand that, totally do. But, because there's always a but, no, not that but, I know we're talking about Mass Effect here, but not that but. Although that is a nice butt. right. But this was taken a step too far, I think. Making the statement that you will only purchase AAA and indie video games from moral, well-meaning, decent people video game developers is quite frankly delusional. You expect me to believe, you expect me to buy that every single person working at a video game development studio that you like or who make video games that you like, you expect me to believe that everyone in the development process of that game is a good person? You expect me to believe that every single person at CD Projekt Red is a good person? Good moral people who share the same political and ideological viewpoints as you? Sorry, no, I'm not falling for allowing this BS to spread. I believe in supporting good video game developers that make good games. That doesn't mean every single person working at the development studio is a good person that I agree with on a political and ideological view. I guarantee you, one of the people in the development team who made your favorite game of all time probably has a completely different ideological or political view to you. Maybe they are a racist, a sexist, a bigot, a homophobe, a misogynist, who knows? But don't throw me this line that you only buy from moral good developers who are good people. The only reason we know about Manveer Air being racist is because he was open about it. That doesn't mean every single video game developer as an individual is an angel of goodwill. I'm sure there are many more video game developers like Manveer Air. They're just not as open as him about their hateful political views and ideology. I promise you, some of your favorite games of all time, someone on the development team was probably not a good person, probably a bad person. I'm not saying everyone who makes video games is a good person, but let's not blindly assume that everyone on a development team, everyone in a video game development studio are all on the same page. They all share the same ideological views and opinions and political beliefs and all that. No, that's ridiculous. I guarantee you that there were some people working at BioWare that despised Manveer Air for his tweets and his beliefs. Not everyone who works on a group project are all buddy buds with one another. Not everyone who makes a video game you like or dislike automatically equals, oh, they're bad people, they're good people. It's always a mix. And don't give me this BS that you only buy from moral, good-willed video game developers. You have no way of determining. You are not psychic. You cannot read the minds of every single video game developer and know that because they made a game you like, that they share the same political beliefs and ideological views as you. Do not be this willfully ignorant. If you can separate the art from the artists for the video games that you do love, don't tell me you couldn't do it for Mass Effect Andromeda. But now we will determine whether you live up to your word or whether you're going to backpedal or where you're going to flip things around because Manveer Air is no longer working at BioWare. He's been fired. Confirmed. Fired. No longer working on BioWare or Mass Effect Andromeda. Because, kiddies, because I know you have zero knowledge of the business world, Manveer Air probably had a contract with EA, with BioWare. I'm sure there are people at Electronic Arts and BioWare that wanted him out the door as soon as he started posting those racist tweets. But this is the business world. There are contracts, there are obligations, and even though there are bosses that would love to fire some employees, or some employees that would like to quit their job on the spot, contracts and business deals prevent that. So I want to know now, are you going to buy Mass Effect Andromeda now that Manveer Air is no longer associated with it? Or are you going to backpedal and now say you aren't going to buy the game, period, because he worked on it, period? And yet you own and play video games who I can guarantee you one of the developers on the development team was not a good person and probably disliked you or dislikes what you believe in. All I'm saying here is think rationally. Separate the art from the artist. And if you can't do that, at least be consistent. Don't be hypocritical about it. And don't determine whether a video game is good or bad simply because the person who made it is good or bad. Fez is a fantastic indie game, but the developer who made it, he's not all right in the head. Phil Fish, anyone? Not the nicest guy, but he made a pretty good game. Separate the art from the artist. All I'm saying. Took way too much time on that point. Moving on. Wacky reason number 2. Nut jobs don't want to buy or play and dislike Mass Effect Andromeda. Facial animations, bad animations, and bugs and glitches.
Oh, wait, you serious? Let me laugh even harder.
Really, people? Really? You want to play this game? You really want to play this outrage game over bad animations and bugs and glitches? I've seen a lot of compilations circling YouTube of the bad facial animations and the bugs and glitches in Mass Effect Andromeda. Now, I'm not denying that what's being showed off in videos and live streams of the now infamous Mass Effect Andromeda animations is bad. It's absolutely bad and certainly deserves to be mocked. But then going to claim the game as a whole is therefore bad and is a shit game because of these bad animations, because of these compilations, these very specific, very heavily edited videos with a very clear intent and motive. You don't think there are some individuals out there that are trying to manipulate this to make this seem like this is the whole game? I can do that too. I can get bad animations and glitches from a ton of actually really good video games and make them look awful by showing off some bad animations and some bugs and glitches. It's real easy. People do it all the time, but for some reason with Mass Effect Andromeda, it seems to have blown up to a ridiculous scale. And this whole idea that you won't buy or play video games because they have bad animations and or bugs and glitches. Well, I guess the gaming community has spoken, everybody. We can never play the original Deus Ex ever again because the animations in that game are absolutely dreadful. I guess we can never play another Fallout or Elder Scrolls game. You heard the gaming community, everybody. Bad animations equals bad game, therefore don't buy, don't play it. I guess that also means we can never buy or play another indie game or early access game ever again. Goodbye, Minecraft. Goodbye, Ark Survival Evolved. Goodbye, 7 Days to Die. Oh, too bad you have such shit animations. I mean, everything else about you is actually really good, but the gaming community has spoken. Bad animations equals bad game.
And in case you didn't know, that was sarcasm.
I mean, come on. Come on, really? You're gonna tell me you've never bought a video game with bad animation or bugs and glitches? You're really gonna tell me this? You're really gonna tell me you refuse to buy video games with bad animation or bugs and glitches, or that you've never done it before? Yes, I know Mass Effect Andromeda is a brand new AAA game. Yes, I know it is the current year. And I'm not defending the animations themselves. Don't confuse this for defense. I'm not defending the animations themselves. They are absolutely a step down from the previous older Mass Effect games, and they deserve to be mocked. What I am making fun of, what I am calling out, is this idea that animations and bugs and glitches make or break a game. People still play RuneScape. To this day, people still play RuneScape. Do you think that game still has good animations? What about all of the early access and indie games on PC? You expect me to believe that every single one of them is garbage solely based on the animations? And a lot of these games have come out recently. They came out in 2017. Oh, but this is AAA. Let me show you some animations and bugs and glitches from AAA games. You can make any video game, no matter how good it is, look bad with some well-edited gameplay footage of bad animations and bugs and glitches. Stop acting like Mass Effect Andromeda is anything new or anything special. It is not. You've bought, played, and enjoyed video games before with bad animations and bugs and glitches. Don't act like you've suddenly changed and Mass Effect is the game that broke the camel's back. You're jumping on the hate train, the outrage train, admit it. You're being absurd. So absurd, in fact, you've become so obsessed with the animations in a video game that you're harassing and attacking random innocent people online? I highly recommend the YouTube video made by YouTuber Sid Alpha. He goes into much greater detail on this topic. Link in the description down below. But seriously, people, seriously, when did you become so obsessed with animations that if you discover bad animations, you go out looking for the animators to attack them and insult them? And then on top of that, are too much of a coward to apologize when it comes out that they're innocent? And not the actual animators. Check out some of the tweets this person got. This person who was not the animator for Mass Effect Andromeda. Look at some of the tweets this person got. That's disgusting. That's disgusting. It's just a video game. If you insult, attack, harass an individual over a video game animations, no less.
I've never said this unironically, but I think this will be the first time I actually say it unironically and mean it. Kill yourself.
You're scum. You're absolute scum. You do not deserve to be on planet Earth. Get out of here. Alright, that was bad. That was real bad, but it gets even worse from here, folks, because the last reason, the last crazy, wacky, batshit, insane reason why there are some people not buying, not playing, and hating Mass Effect Andromeda, and going so far as to not only boycott the game, but harass those who are going to be purchasing and playing the game. Wacky, whack job reason number 3. Mass Effect Andromeda is apparently SJW propaganda.
Oh, wait, you serious? Let me laugh even harder.
You're not really this dumb, are you? You're not actually this dumb. You're trolling, right? Please tell me you're trolling, because if you think Mass Effect Andromeda is SJW propaganda, even though the game's not even out yet, and you haven't played the whole thing, I hate to break it to you, but I think you're becoming a paranoid schizophrenic. Yes, I know Manvir used to work at BioWare, and yes, I have seen the video clips, I have seen the reports, I have seen the tweets, I have seen the quotes. I know there are some legitimate SJWs working at BioWare, but you don't think there was a single SJW that worked on The Witcher 3, or worked on Uncharted 4, or worked on your favorite video game of all time? Again, we're not psychic. We can't read the minds of every single video game developer as an individual. Yes, because some individuals at BioWare have been open about their political and ideological views. We know that they are what they are and they believe in what they believe in. And yes, sometimes developers like to put their personal ideas into the game. But the mere presence of ideas doesn't equal propaganda. A lot of people have been calling BioWare SJW propaganda based off this Dragon Age Inquisition clip.
In Kunadar, Krem would be an Akunathak. That's what we call someone born one gender but living like another.
And Kunari don't treat those Akun people any differently than a real man.
They are real men, just like you are.
Maybe your people aren't so bad after all.
Don't get your hopes up, Krem. We still come down hard on the back talk.
The problem, though, with calling this propaganda is that the player character is not forced to agree with the ideas being stated here. You can actually disagree or ignore what's being said here. If this was propaganda, you would be severely punished for not agreeing or be forced to agree. And if this was propaganda, it would be present throughout the entire game. But it's not! It's only a few seconds in a game whose story, voice acting, and cutscene goes on for dozens upon dozens of hours! And like I said earlier, the mere presence of ideas, or different opinions, or viewpoints, or politics, their mere presence does not equal propaganda, does not equal an agenda. When you start saying that the mere presence, not the pushing of, just the mere presence of different ideas, politics, opinions, ideological viewpoints, as soon as you start saying that their mere presence is hurtful and propaganda and agenda pushing, then you yourself have become the very thing you claim to hate so much. A social justice warrior. You have become the thing you despise so much, an SJW. You're looking for things to be outraged at. You're looking for things to get angry at because they do not share the same opinions or viewpoints as you. Their mere presence insults you, and you want them removed, gone. The whole Iron Bowl Krem scene in Dragon Age Inquisition is not propaganda, it's not agenda pushing, and you yourself have become an SJW. You have become the thing you hated if you think that's what that is, or if that's what you think Mass Effect Andromeda is. If I took your same mindset, if I took your same mentality to other games, I could easily say that Wolfenstein the New Order, fantastic game, it's Nazi propaganda, it's pushing a Nazi agenda, there are Nazis present in the game, therefore they must be pushing and forcing you to conform to that political perspective. hey, you know what? I guess The Witcher Free is gay propaganda, homosexual propaganda. There are homosexual characters in the story, must be pushing a gay agenda, must be gay propaganda, must be trying to force you to go gay. You see how absurd that sounds. You see how absurd you sound. The mere presence of different ideas, political viewpoints, and opinions, their mere presence does not equal pushing an agenda or propaganda. I know I've said it like a dozen times already, but I want to be repetitive and I want to drill this into your thick skull. The Iron Bull Creme transgender discussion scene right there is perfectly fine. It's not hurting anybody. Just as having Nazis present in Wolfenstein is not actually hurting anybody, and having gay characters in The Witcher is not hurting anybody. Don't be stupid. Because when you say stupid things like that, it makes you look stupid. And an SJW to boot. Look, SJWs are the scourge of the earth, so stop becoming one. Eradicate this idea that SJWs can only be left-leaning. A social justice warrior is a social justice warrior. Getting upset and demanding the removal and change of opinions and ideas goes both ways. Now I know some of you may be confused by the message of this video. Let me assure you that the message of this video is not to force you or guilt you into buying or liking Mass Effect Andromeda. I don't care if you like or if you buy Mass Effect Andromeda. What I care about is you not being stupid. Stupid? Because as we've seen, being stupid ends up with people getting hurt and harassed. So stop being stupid. Stop being outraged and angry over the most petty, insignificant things. Don't be a hypocrite and liar and say that you only buy video games from morally good developers and every single person on that developer team who made that game that you like is a good person because you know it, because you like that game they made. Just because they're not as open about their political and ideological views as other developers doesn't mean they automatically agree with or like you. Be consistent, don't be hypocritical, and try to separate the art from the artist. Or don't. Don't also be a hypocrite and liar by saying you only buy video games with good animations with no bugs and glitches, and video games can only be good if they have good animations without bugs and glitches. Don't make me laugh. Too late. And lastly, don't be a complete fool by calling the mere presence of an opinion or political idea that you disagree with as propaganda and agenda pushing. It's so bizarre how video games sometimes ignite the worst in people. So much so that there are individuals out there actually harassing and attacking and insulting others for buying and playing Mass Effect Andromeda. They are literally offended by and insult, attack, and harass others over what video games they buy and where they spend their money. To those people who do this, I say,
Kill yourself.
you are scum. You are absolute scum. You are absolute filth, and you should be ashamed of yourselves. Insulting others over what video games others choose to buy and play? You know what? That's downright evil. You're an evil piece of shit if you do or think that. Again, all this over a video game, folks. All this over a video game. I don't know what it is specifically about Mass Effect Andromeda that triggered all this. Why there's so many individuals that sprung up out of nowhere that are obsessed and looking for any and every reason to hate the game. It's honestly kind of scary. This mob mentality is very scary. The hate train for Mass Effect Andromeda and where it's been leading and the side effects of it, it's scary. Honestly, I hate that the political drama going on in the United States between both sides has escalated to a point where now video games, now whether you buy or play a video game is now a social statement. Making a video game is a social statement. It's just video games. Calm down. Now, whether you choose to buy Mass Effect Andromeda, whether you like or dislike Mass Effect Andromeda, is none of my concern. It's none of anyone's concern. So please, stop trying to make it everyone's bloody concern. It's just a video game. And this has been a video. I hope you liked the video in any way, shape, or form, and if you did, please be sure to hit the like button. Let me know your thoughts, feelings, and opinions on the topic of this video in the comment section down below. I love reading comments. I got nearly enough comments. Please leave a comment. Lord knows the comments on this video are going to be incredibly interesting. If you want to help out and support this video, which I highly suggest you do, then please be sure to share it on social media, Twitter and Facebook. And if you want to help out and support me directly, well, there is always Patreon. Anyways, guys, that's been a video, and I'll see you all later. And be sure to come back again to check out the circus that will be the like-dislike ratio in the comments down below. Oh boy, who's excited? I'm excited.